Hello everyone, Car Encyclopedia KKK. Hello everyone, I'm Shinopi from Car Encyclopedia KKK. This time I'm using Soft 99's Ultra Decamax Hyper Long Cloth. Do you know this? It was quite popular in a crowdfunding in Japan called Makuake. The goal was about $1,300 and over 400 people backed it. It was 1000% funded. So it received about $13,000. The crowdfunding of this ended, but you can now buy this online. The price on Amazon Japan is $30. As the name Ultra Decamax Hyper Long Cloth says, what's so popular about this is the length. Deca means big in Japanese. This cloth is 4 meters long. Lately there's big cloths like 80 centimeters long and 60 centimeters high. But this is 4 meters. How is 4 meters? I think they made it for half fun. But over 400 people backed it. So I was curious and bought it. Drying towels are easier to use when they are bigger. You can't bring big drying towels. So I want to finish wiping at once with a big one. Or prepare 2 of them. Bigger ones should absorb more water. So I think they are easier to use. How will a 4-meter one be like? It seems that you can hook the towel on the door striker, so you can use it alone. This time I'm going to try it out and see how it's like. Then let's go outside. I've came outside. First I'm going to open it up. I'm curious how thick it will be. You can use this to hook to the door striker. It's just a string. Whoa, it's big. The edge part is cut. The side that has the door striker string on, only this side's edge is folded and stitched inside. However, the other side, the edge is cut. It's overall cut like this. It's like a normal microfiber cloth without the edge stitching. I think the thickness isn't enough. It's a little thin. This is Gion's silk dryer. This one has the edge stitch. Gion's edge is thick, so it's hard to tell, but this is the difference. It's quite thin. This is Gion's microfiber cloth. Even comparing with this, it's similar or slightly thin. It's a little unsatisfying. Let's try wiping with it. Oh! I want to check the water absorption, so I'll lightly wet the hood. Of course, I've washed the car, and it's repelling water. First, let's go from Gion's silk dryer. Put the towel on and pull it. By just this, there's no wiping streaks left. This is the drying towel I often use. It's amazing as usual. Then next is Soft 99's Ultra Decamax Hyper Long Cloth. Whoa, it's huge. I want to simply check the material's water absorption. Punto. Oh, it might absorb. More than I expected. I expected it won't absorb much, but it does. However, since it's thin, the water amount it can absorb may be a little less. Oh, but it's fine. It absorbs quite a lot. Then let's use it the original way. Oh! Then open the door. This is the door striker. I'm going to hook the string here. And you bring the blue cloth part between the door and close it. It's like this when you close it. It's like this now. When you wipe the roof, you take this to the other side. Don't. It went to the other side. So you wipe the roof with this, it gets twisted. Well, that's what it is. Make the length easy to use and wipe. It won't reach here. It's a little lacking for the most far right edge part. Oh. Hi. It's hard to tell how much towel there's left, so it's a little hard until you get used to it. Rear glass. The length is unstable. Since it's fixed, it's not completely free to move. A thick towel is better. This bothers me. When you're wiping the rear, the side that's hooked. This, I'm scared of this, but this side is wiped up because of this. How do I wipe this side of the car? I have to adjust the length, or the towel will go on the floor, so be careful. I did the rear part now, so the right side of the towel is quite wet. However, the left side isn't wet yet, so I can wipe with it. However, it's hard to operate this long towel. Be careful when wiping the bottom part. Okay, all left is the front. You can wipe with this. It's like the thread getting tangled when you're fishing. Is this right? It certainly does reach quite a range. It will reach 99% of the surface, but it's difficult to operate. It's easier to wipe when you hold the edge and wipe with the length left. But then the water will be gathered to the edge, like this. It has absorbed quite a lot of water. However, it's easy to wring since it's thin. But even you wring the water out, it doesn't absorb water. The wiping ability isn't that good after it gets wet once. Did I wipe the whole car? It's difficult to use. I've used it in different ways. So the towel is now hooked on the first row door striker. So you stretch it from here. It's ideal to use the towel near the hook to wipe this part. But it's difficult to operate. When you try to wipe with this part, it's difficult to move. If it's too near to the hook, you can only wipe here. You will need to pull it like this. I think it's difficult to wipe. After all, wiping with the end part is the most easy way. You hold the towel and use the end part and stretch it little by little. This is my best way to use it, but then only the end part will get wet. And it will become a useless soggy towel. The material is good. At first, I thought the towel material was the cheap one that comes in together with other products. But it absorbs better than I thought, and it's thin, easy to wring. So I thought it doesn't have to be 4 meters. It's hard to use if it's fixed. I want to use the root part, but you can't move it freely if you fix the towel here. When you want to wipe more further, you will have to stretch it out little by little. But if you don't use this root part, only the end will get all wet. So it's difficult to use. And since it's this long, it's hard to dry. And it will attach to the ground easily. If you're not careful, it drops. I don't like that. The idea is interesting though. Oh! Then I'm going to use the drying towel, which I normally use. I don't know if this is the right way, but for the roof, I always throw it on top. It can be wiped like this. For the side, you fold it in half, about your shoulder length. Like this. You don't move your left hand and wipe with your right hand. I'm wiping it roughly. Hold with your left hand and move your right hand. This panel is finished. For the hood, you don't fold it. Throw it on the side and pull it slowly. The windshield is high, so I just throw it. This is really wiping roughly. I'll do the left detailed parts afterwards. This bottom part is the same with the side. Fold it and move your right hand. I'm right-handed, so I'll move my right hand. It's like this. That will be the end of what I filmed. This time I used Soft 99's Ultra Decamax Hyper Long Cloth. It was on crowdfunding. The length is 4 meters and the width is 50 centimeters. I used this ultra big cloth. By actually using the material was better than I expected. I thought it won't absorb water at all, but it absorbed more than I thought. But it's a little thin. Finger pressure will get applied if it's this thin. But even you fold it, it will be difficult to move. So overall, I thought it was so-so. If it's this thin, normally towels flutter and is hard to use. However, when you hook it on the door striker, it's fine because it doesn't flutter. But it's a little too long. Only the end part gets all wet. And I wasn't able to use the root part. I think I'm not used to it, but it was subtle. I have many kinds of drying towels from different companies. When I wipe the car, I always wonder which one to use. Well, I have some favorites, but they aren't always available. About drying towels. Honestly, there's not much difference. It's just a preference. There's only slight differences. But this Ultra Decamax Hyper long cloth won't go in my collection. I guess this will be the last time using this. 4 meters is too long. When I want to fold it, even I fold in half, there's still 2 meters left. I don't use with other people, and it's hard to use it alone. I thought it was interesting, but if you ask me if it's practical, I think no. There might be parts I didn't realize. If you noticed any good points about this product, please put it in the comments. Well, that will be the end of today's video. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Then, see you next week.